How important is it for real estate investors and entrepreneurs to build a personal brand and maybe start a podcast? In this conversation, we have the amazing Monsi in the studios here in Miami, and she is my secret weapon that allows me to absolutely murder it with my personal brand. So if you want to learn more about it, stay tuned. Hey, Clever Investors, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am the OG Clever Investor, Sperber Investor, and today we got Monsi. We're on the road. What's up, Monsi?
What's up? Thank you for having me.
Monsi is my secret weapon.
I am.
You're my secret weapon when it comes to getting my content out to the world. And so, look, you guys watch this channel, obviously, to learn real estate investing advice and tactical strategy and all that stuff, but I'm able to generate a lot of leads, a lot of energy around my personal brand. I've been doing it since the beginning of social media. I made over $100 million with my personal brand so far. And I've gone through a lot of people and vendors and help and stuff like that, but you are by far my favorite person that's ever helped me.
And you're one of my favorite clients.
That's right. You have to say that. But Monsi's my secret weapon when it comes to the podcast, the Clever Investor Show. She also does all my shorts, my reels, my posting on different platforms, gives me my analytics, my KPIs, all that good stuff. So I wanted to unpack some of that stuff because even if you're new or you're already killing it as a real estate investor, you should be building a personal brand. You should be putting out constant content. You've seen a lot of my other videos where I'm even telling you like, hey, here's creative ways to use artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to come up with content ideas. Here's a app for your phone, like a teleprompter app. So that way you could just get ChatGPT to write your content, read that stuff, which by the way, I'm only giving you tools to get started. I think the best content is authentic coming from you. You are an expert at something. If you're a wholesaler, you're in the trenches every single day wholesaling, you know things because you're on the front lines of wholesaling. If you're a rehabber, you're on the front lines. You're getting experiences like the good and the bad and the ugly. You should be always recording and talking about that because the more you put your brand out there and share your content, the more energy is going to come back your way, whether it's raising money or getting deal flow or getting future business opportunities. You never know where it's going to lead.
The number one problem, though, that I'm seeing with people putting content out there is they get into this like analysis paralysis state. It's just like, I'm not good enough to do the content. I'm going to look silly. I'm going to look, like no one's going to like it. It's just like, get out of that already and just put the content out there. Like, stop making excuses. There's so many tools out there. There's so many people that you can hire to help you out with it. Just get out of that and it's going to help your business.
So when you're working with a new client, and they're like, look, I'm a mortgage professional. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a whatever. What do you do? Like, what's the first thing? You're like, we got to get equipment? Or can you, hey, just get your cell phone out? We're going to start.
We can start with the cell phone just to start getting content out there. But first, more than anything, it's just like, let's dial in what exactly is the message that you want to show. Is it going to be showing like your business? Is it going to be, are you going to be talking to the camera the whole time, like spitting out facts, entrepreneurship, business facts? What is it? And dial in from there, like what kind of content are you going to be creating, or are you going to be the content? So if you're going to be the content, it's like being on site, recording on the back, doing all that kind of stuff where it's just showing what you do. Like, how are you an expert in what you do? Or are you going to create the content where you're like reading off the scripts, you're saying like bullet points, tips, tricks, all that kind of stuff. So we dial in that first, and then we create the formats for everything else.
Got it. The reason I love podcasting, and I fell in love with it. I'm having such a blast. I don't know what episode we're on, maybe 30 or so we've like recorded by now. Is you could take that long form content and break it into a bunch of smaller pieces, which is your expertise, right? You got this amazing army of people that help you spin the content into shorts, reels, and other types of content that you syndicate out. When somebody wants to start a podcast, what all do they need?
They need great audio equipment, great lighting, and cameras. Long gone are the days where you can just do an audio podcast. Those are long gone. Like, you need video in order to be successful in podcast. You can post it on YouTube, podcast platforms. You can create reels out of it. You can create shorts out of it. It just pushes your podcast even more. So just get started with those few basics. Hire someone that's going to help you with podcast outreach and the formatting of your podcast too. That's crucial because some people just like start talking and there's just no flow to the podcast. It's just like people just talking the whole time. There needs to be structure and flow. If not, people are just going to be like, yeah, I tuned out. I'm good.
People don't realize how much goes into it. There really is. So, first off, we brought in Johnny, who's our audio engineer.
Love Johnny.
We love Johnny. Big shout out to Johnny. And I don't know if I want to give out Johnny's contact on this thing, but he's so good. He is like an audio engineer. So every time we record a podcast, first off, he helped me with the jingle at the beginning.
We love
you got to have a good jingle.
Yes.
I feel like that makes the clever investor. I had an idea. I went to the team and I said, hey, I kind of want it to be like that old infomercial feel where it's like a bunch of like cheesy guru 90s infomercial clips where it's like, you can be rich on my boat, and look at the babes. Look at all my babes. I got real estate rich. And so we took a bunch of those clips and he mastered it into this really amazing.
It is. I still, like, when I get new clients, I always refer back to that one when the little initial jingle, because I'm like, this is the level that you want to have for your like intro, because it is by far the best jingle I've heard.
We've killed it. It's a great intro. So steal my Clever Investor Show intro. Go on to like, if you can't afford it, Johnny, because I don't remember what I paid him, but it was a good amount.
Yeah.
He's a real pro. I think he's won a
Grammy and nominated 3 times or 4 times for like a Grammy again.
Not a bad guy to hire.
Nope.
That's why my jingle rocks. But go to Fiverr.com and show the jingle, right?
Yes.
Like go to Odesk or
and don't be cheap about it. Don't go on Fiverr and look for someone that's like $5, $20. Like, invest in yourself. If you're going to put a podcast out there, spend $200, spend $500, spend $1,000, whatever it may be. Like, get a good person.
Yeah, get a good jingle, hire a Monty, and understand that flow of the conversation. For me, we realized a couple things as we were putting out podcasts. First off, if you don't launch it correctly,
yes,
it's a problem, right? I'm a dumbass. I just put it out to the world. I'm like, I'm so busy. Like, here's my podcast. And then my good friend Dan Fleischman comes along. He does it the right way. He launches it the right way. And his stupid podcast, The Money Mondays, has been the #1 podcast on iTunes and all platforms for like since the day it launched.
Yep.
He's got 1,600 reviews as we speak.
There's a tactic to going launching a podcast.
Well, what did I do wrong, Monty?
You just threw shit to the wall and see if
I should have hired you first.
You should have hired me first. Yeah.
Yeah, I hired her after I already.
Yeah, it was like probably 4 or 6 episodes in, and that's when he hired me. I was like, all right, let's turn this shit.
So you got to launch it right. You got to have the right flow of the conversation. And we realize I'm doing too long a podcast probably.
Yeah, you're doing, call it like an hour 15, an hour 20 podcast. The sweet spot for podcasts, if you have a guest, 45 minutes to 55 minutes. That's the sweet spot. Other than that, people may tune out.
Yep. And we also learned that you should do 2 podcasts in a week.
Yes.
One long one, like maybe with a guest, and one short one,
One
like
short
15-minute
Just
power talk.
Just Cody. Yep.
Let's just go. And so I've been working behind the scenes, like recording my power talks, because it does hack the algorithm a little bit.
It hacks the algorithm, and people get to see more of you and download more of the content that you put out there. So it just makes sense.
And if they're on the treadmill or driving,
exactly,
they got about 15 minutes where you can maybe get some of their
exactly, because no one's going to be driving, hopefully not, for an hour to get to work or anything like that. So 15 minutes, that's a perfect sweet spot.
Yeah. All right. So do 2 episodes in a week if you can. Launch it correctly. Get a good jingle.
Yes.
Hire a good team around you. But then most importantly, you got to get the word out with your content.
Yeah.
And this is where a lot of people fail. You gotta have. The reason I like spending money with you is because you make me a lot of money. I am able to take all these amazing reels and shorts that your team puts the typography on, finds the 1-minute conversation that's really hot, and edits it all, hands it to me, and then also posts it on all the platforms I don't want to get on. Personally, I only handle IG. You handle everything else.
Yeah. So we handle all YouTube, all Facebook, TikTok. He handles his own IG. But yeah, we post it on every single thing. That way it's more eyes on you, and you're just constantly posting out content.
Yeah. And it's not about your views. It's not about your engagement. It's quantity over quality.
Yes.
In the beginning, I mean, she obviously creates quality clips. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't beat yourself up. In the beginning, don't.
Just put it out.
Just put it out.
Just put it out, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important because, like, I'm a new real estate investor. I don't have a following. I don't have a brand. Well, neither did I when I first started. In 2000
somewhere, yeah.
In 2011, it was a birthday party with no people. Like, it was super embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. And I can't tell you how many hundreds of times.
I would have gone.
No, you wouldn't have. Nobody came, Monty. But I kept putting out the content. And I can't tell you how many times I deleted it after I recorded something on my phone because I was embarrassed by the way I looked or the lighting or how I sound. It's like, look, as long as the sound's clear, put it out.
Yes. Stop getting scared of posting content out there. You know, it's just like, don't get discouraged. You may get a few likes on one. You may get like 1 million likes on another one. It's completely fine. Just put it out there. Like he said, quantity over quality in the beginning. And then once you start building the traction, focus on the quality.
Yeah. And what happens is it does build upon each other. You might get 5 views on your first one and 20 views by your 15th one. And all of a sudden one pops. And I'm telling you, when one pops, everything changes. Like I had a Robert Kiyosaki clip go viral, over 5.5 million views. I got well over 25,000 new followers on IG.
Did you guys hear that? He got 5.8 million views and got 25,000 new followers on IG.
On IG, it was amazing. And I can't tell you how much money came in because, look, I put out content, right? It's like part serving and influencing and just like sharing my life with the world, but it's also, I have some call to actions. Like 80% of my content is just value, and then 20% is like a call to action. Like, hey, if you want to do deals with me, go to clevercapitalfund.com and invest your money into my projects, or bring a deal to me, submit it to sendusthedeals.com. Like I say it just kind of like in my content, and guess what happens? That content lives out there forever. Every once in a while I get a deal. I go wholesale somebody else's deal. I make a quick 20K, 10 to them for submitting the deal, 10 to me. And I'm like, damn, if I would have never created that video, I would have never made $10,000.
Exactly.
Where else can you do that? And content is really the most valuable thing that you can put out in 2023.
Especially, in 2023, content is the most valuable thing to put out there. It's sort of like a resume for you on your Instagram, on your Facebook, whatever it may be. It shows what you're doing, what value you bring to other people, you know, and it's builds business for you. It creates money in your pocket. Who doesn't want that?
Out of all your clients, who's doing it right?
Cody.
That's right. That's right. You know why? Because I listen to smart people like you. You help course correct me. And hey, man, that was really whack. We're not putting that out there. Hey, this one's really good. We're going to splice this content up a bunch of different ways and push it out. And also, don't be scared to spend a little bit of money on PR around your content. We recently just put out a bunch of articles, spent a few $1,000s promoting my content. There's also podcast promotions you can do.
There is podcast promotions that we can do. It's that's why you have to hire the right people. It's like who you know in the podcast industry. And so you can always do that. Think of it like an ad for your podcast, and you can get, you know, a whole bunch of downloads doing it that way. Yeah.
And so like give an example, like we got what, 12, 15, 16,000 downloads on one of our episodes?
We got 15,000 downloads on one of our episodes. A great episode, by the way, too. Super valuable. And then, after that, the cool thing is that it just sprinkles onto the other episodes that you have because people are now intrigued to listen to all your other episodes. So it's not just like that one episode, it's your whole show that's getting promoted. And
I'm going to end this video strong with a couple really ninja tricks that will help your podcast launch higher in the rankings on Chartable and in the podcasting world. First off, get people to subscribe.
Yes.
That's the key. So your call to action at the end is subscribe. It's not share this with a friend. It's subscribe, because they pay attention to the subscribes and the downloads.
How do you subscribe? You go on your podcast app, you click subscribe to the podcast. That way, every single week or every single day, whenever you're getting the podcast, it automatically goes onto your phone.
Yep. And if you have an email list, or you can even pay to send out emails on other people's email list. I recently did an iPad giveaway where I said, if you subscribe to my podcast, you get one entry to win one of 5 iPads. And for extra 10 bonus entries, if you give me a good review on my podcast, you'll have a higher chance of winning it.
It's all playing the game.
And you know what? We got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of new reviews, and I shot up the rankings on Chartable.
What number are you now?
I'm number 8.
Number 8 in investing in the U.S.
That's not bad, right?
That's not bad at all. That's actually really good.
All right, Monty. We got to get to number 1 though. We can't let Dan Fleischman and the Money Mondays.
We love Dan, but we gotta be out.
We love Dan, but I'm a competitive mofo, and he's kicking the shit out of us. Anyways, hopefully you got some value out of this. We're in Miami. I have Monty with me. We just got done recording an amazing episode with Wes Watson, episode number 2, and I said, Monty, get in this damn chair and let's talk shop a little bit, and hopefully motivate some of you guys to get out there and create your brand. Doesn't matter where you're at, what level you're at, what you're doing. If you have a brand, you're going to make a ton more money eventually and have a lot more opportunities. So hopefully this inspires you to get out there and get out of your own way and go and do it.
Just record that content, you guys.
That's right. And how do they find you? If they wanted to hire Monty to help them launch their stuff, what would they do?
Yeah, you can just visit me at Instagram at MoncyCMB, and then we can talk from there.
MoncyCMB.
MoncyCMB.
I'm hooking you up right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Until next time, we're out of here. Take care. Comb your hair. Peace.